Hello. Hello. I wanted to share my thoughts about um, about philosophy and explain what I think about the hard problems in philosophy and why do I think that they are impossible to solve, and why they are impossible to solve. Why do I think that it might be that their impossibility of the fact that we are cannot solve these questions, humanity cannot solve these questions for over thousands of years, 5,000 years or 10,000, is makes me wonder why should I try to solve them, or why they are so important. So the first problem I wanted to show to you is a problem which concerns many and concerned many for thousands of years. This problem is a problem of life and the impossibility of an object to experience what is called a life. Okay, so how can an object feel, and will computers ever be able to manifest their own intelligence and manifest their own consciousness? Why I think that it is an impossibility. So basically our life as humans is an impossibility. It's an impossibility by natural means, which I mean by a matrix, and the matrix cannot make a living thing. What do I mean by this? I mean that a human being, by the materialistic perspective, a human being is a mere material in composition, meaning that the materialistic perspective that wants to explain everything in terms of material and materialistic explanations about the existence of our life in this universe from the beginning to the end, wants us humans to accept the unacceptable by presenting us, me and you, with a a dogma, or what should I say, a conjecture that has no proof, but wants us to believe in this dogma without the proof. So the dogma of it's not just a dogma; it's a perspective of materialistic, of materialism in general, which means that a human being is just material. It is just the material composition. It is just the architecture of our being. Okay, it is not merely it's not merely anything but the material composition. They say that our brain, which has many neurons and many connections, is the thing that sparks life. Now, it means that somehow the material is living. Okay, so let me start by offering you an offer. For example, a human Jonathan, wants to give you an offer. I want to give you the offer of your life, basically. Whether you're going to accept it or not, it's an offer of a life. So I will present you with an option. On the one hand, you can not accept it, you can reject it, but on the other hand, I give you the option to accept it, and the proposition is such: I give you an opportunity to gain $1 million by going into a machine, which in this example is a metaphysical experiment. It's not a metaphysical experiment, it's a thought experiment. The thought experiment that gives you an opportunity to get into a machine that will annihilate your composition, meaning you will be what is called in the simple language dead, and then will take the all your atoms one by one, every atom of your existence, will take them into another machine, and this machine will reassemble your composition in such a way that the assemblance of your parts will create the same material form that you had before. So basically, I will annihilate you and then reform you in another body. And this means that we have a really interesting position for you, is a thought experiment. So would you take it? Okay, but what is the problem behind it? Okay, so the problem behind this experiment is that if the world is merely material, and in material in different forms, which is how you assemble the material, and the laws of physics which are governing this material behavior. That means that if you would take this example, you would not reject the offer I gave you, which is the basic thing that you could think about. You could think about not rejecting this offer from me, not rejecting it. And you would think, but why then the question? Well, the question is that you actually think about it. You take your past and you are already dead. Then how could you relive again? If you take in all your parts and you make and basically I make you already dead, now how you can take this dead material form and make a living form out of it? And another question is not just that I make a living thing, okay, which is to say the same thing that they do with computers. They say with the computers we will make them intelligence and we'll make them alive. And you will think, how can the computer be alive? Well, the same way you are, okay? The same way you are alive. And in the same aspect of questioning, you could say that the dead material that was you beforehand, okay, but it's not already not you, and you already perished from this world. How can you then rise up and become again living? Okay, so yes, it's a bit weird to think about if this is really a question at all. If this really is a question, but it seems to me that it is a real question, and it has an obvious solution which is within the question, that the dead material that was you cannot revive and come to be you again, because it is dead already. You cannot relive it. So I would example, if I was given this option, I would reject it, completely reject it. I would not accept it at all, because I know that once I'm dead forever, and I cannot be revived. And the revived creature that we say it is alive, I would say in the simplest way you could say that the revived creature is alive. It is alive, but it is not me. So basically saying that I am unique in this world, that means that I am unique in this world and I cannot be replaced. The replaced being that replaced from me, from all my material, is exactly like me, but it is not living. It is exactly like me, but it is not living. It cannot be me. I already did. Okay? I am already dead. I am already dead. So how could I come to life? And I cannot come to life when I cannot come to life from a dead thing. If I'm dead, I'm already dead forever. Okay, so basically it's like in mathematics. When you do a mathematical operation, then it is impossible to redo it. When somehow you can do manipulation in mathematics, that means some things are not other things, because basically mathematics is a symbol manipulation. So you give meaning to the symbols, and then the answers you get from the symbols are meaningful, and they have different meanings from the same thing. It's like black and white. How can you create all the forms in the world from black and white? So you make all the information from 0 and 1, like in a computer. But to have in a philosophical examination the same thing is a bit more more concerning. It makes me a bit shatters my reality. It a bit shatters my reality to think about this question. When I'm dead, then and another question. This is just a simple question because we are not used to this this example. It is not. This example is not. It's not an ordinary example. But just to say that, I just want to say that this example is not talking about the unordinary. It's talking about the ordinary life, and that. Even when you were born, you had the same example already. This is the same example I showed you, because you were dead and then you came to life. Meaning the same thing like dying and coming to life. Okay, if you're dead and you're already dead, you cannot come to life already. And another thing about it is that the semblance of pieces that is you, it is not exact. It's not even exact semblance of pieces that makes you, because you can take the same arrangement of materials and the composition and the way it forms into a form that is you, that you think it is you. It can be a bit different and still be you. So you could say, why I am not the person who watches me in this video? Why I am not you? Because you watching this video is separated, you are separated from me. What makes this separation possible? The separation of minds, separation of consciousness. Why consciousness is shattered into many pieces, like a mirror that was whole and then made into all these forms that are separated. What separates us? What makes me and you? Why I am identified with this brain and not your brain? Because in the same way I can think my thoughts, okay, but I do not know what you think. That means somehow the metaphysical aspect of my being is connected to this creature that is here, and the metaphysical then me, I am aware of my thoughts. I am aware of what's going on in this brain. But then again, okay, so okay, dead and then it came to life. Because I think about this example, maybe I'm wrong, maybe maybe there is no conundrum in this, because conundrum in this, because if I'm dead and then revived, the materialists would say, then look, the materialists, they have like an explanation of the world, and their explanation is complete. It's very easy to say what materialists would say in every circumstances. In my example, they would say that that the assemblance of pieces that was dead before, that was me, it is still me, and of course it is me. So I would take this million as this proposition. But it raises the question: why am I connected to this body? Why am I connected to this material? Why, when the material dies, and because you could do the same thing. You could then take me as a baby, take me when I'm 60 years old, and then I would be that person. Because there is a discontinuation in the process. When I am dead, after my material was made out of form, then when I took the material again and made it into a form, this could be not even this material, because material doesn't matter what material it is. There's nothing in the material. Material is like a computation. It's like the same computation, it's the same, like doing 1 + 1 and then making the 1 equal a and doing a plus a. It doesn't matter. The same computations. So you could then say, I make you a 1-year-old or a 60-year-old you or a 50 years old you. You can, there is a lot you can say. You can say, then if I made you again the same entity you were, I can make you the entity you were when you were 1-year-old. This would be you, or the prediction of what you could be when you were 60-year-old. And you would identify, you would be that person. Maybe this is a conundrum, because then I can take, maybe I am this body because I chose to identify with it. So because there is no truth in this, because there's no truth, just because I believe I am this body. The thing about the belief thing, just because I believe I am this body, that means I am already living in this body. My belief settles the reality for me. It can be not correct for you, but as long as it is correct for me, it means that it is that it is true. This is my reality, and this is enough to make it true. Maybe, because when you think about it, I will do another video.